The Olsinski Law Firm is an official sponsor of Top Bin 90, specializing in personal injury, criminal defense, DWI, family law, and workers' compensation. The Olsinski Law Firm provides professional, trusted legal services to clients facing a variety of challenges. With a team of experienced attorneys dedicated to protecting your rights, the Olsinski Law Firm is the legal support you can count on.
Hi, I'm Justin Olsinski, the founding partner of the Olsinski Law Firm. Me and my wife started this firm back in 2010 with the sole purpose of providing excellent service to our clients, giving our clients a personal touch because we had worked in bigger firms where we saw that not happening. We handle criminal defense matters, civil personal injury, wrongful death, workers' comp, and family law matters. We have a team of attorneys that care about the outcome of your case, and we will fight to make sure that you get the justice you deserve.
Jorge Gonzalez, Top Bin 90. I'm here with Mr. Jamie Smith, defender for Crown Legacy. How are you today?
I'm good, mate. How you doing?
Good, good. Great weather in Charlotte, right? We can't complain.
No, it's the weather's changing for the better now, so definitely I need to put my sunscreen on a bit more now. But
nice. I mean, you contrast to England, right? The weather here is always great.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Definitely a bonus in being over it for sure.
Nice.
Less gloomy back at home, but
I love it. Today, Jamie, I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about your career, you know, your start as a soccer player, and also now your time here at Crown Legacy. So I kind of just want our audience to get to know you a little bit more, you know, and so I kind of want to start off with asking you about what made you kind of first fall in love with the game. Like, what do you remember, like, initially?
to be honest, I can't even remember when I was that young, but I think my mum and dad put a ball in front of me whenever I could start walking, I think. So from that moment on, I've always just been around the game. Obviously, my father playing and now coaching. Like, soccer's always been in our family. So, but yeah, even just as a kid, just playing, having fun. You know, like academy games on a Sunday and stuff. 7-a-side, 9-a-side, then 11-a-side. So just always been around football. I've always loved the game. It's always been, like I said, part of our family's lives. So I couldn't get away from it, I think. But always enjoyed it, and then it's brought me to where I am today. So I'm forever grateful for it.
Love that. Yeah, like once you're like when you're in an environment like that, it's almost like you kind of are gonna end up in it, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I think, like you said, just being around it so much made me love it even more. So the fact that I can play every day now, and I have been for the past 8 years of my life probably, it's really good, and I can't complain at all.
Nice, I love it. You started off in the Walsall Academy, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Nice. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I mean, academies are a little bit different back home. I think they're a bit further ahead at the moment than they're catching up over here in the US now, but yeah, I was there when I was 12, and I went until I was 18, so I was just an academy boy. We trained Tuesday, Thursdays, have games on a Sunday, and then eventually got an apprenticeship there when I was 16, so I had an automatic 2 years playing at the U18s level. Unfortunately, at the end of that, I didn't get a contract, but you know, the experience that I had for the 6 years playing there was really good, and I learned a lot. Like you said, there was a lot of good coaching that helped me be a better player. So that helped me get started in my career.
Nice. Can you talk to me a little bit about the, I guess, the environment, right? Because academy in England, where, you know, soccer dominates, versus here in the U.S. is slightly different. Yeah. You know, so what maybe are some of the differences that someone would notice in an academy there versus here? Yeah,
I think it's just, it's very difficult. I think in England especially, I mean, it is over here as well, but in those environments, it's so difficult because, especially at academy level, you have a lot of guys who are similar to you. You want to be a team, you want to be like friends, you want to be cool and that, but you want, like, at the end of the day, you all want to earn a contract, right? So we're all fighting for the same goal. And the reality is not everyone's going to get a pro contract at the end of it. So it can be difficult in those aspects. I mean, especially when it came towards the end of our final year, I think there was like 8 of us, and maybe like 3 or 4 of us got pro contracts, and then the others didn't. So that's like difficult to take sometimes, and you could see that pressure building on some guys when you're playing at that level as well. Like, it's difficult. You're playing under pressure all the time. You know, like the manager's watching, or the youth coaches are watching, giving them the info that they need to say, right, is this guy going to be good enough to play in our first team one day, or is he not going to be good enough? And then you have to go and find another option. So
Nice, yeah. Big contrast.
yes,
Nice.
massive, yeah. So,
Awesome. Then talk to me, I guess, then going from, there to coming to, I think you came to Limestone first,
Yeah.
right? And so, I mean, that's got to be a major shock going from England to Gaffney, South Carolina.
It was a massive culture shock. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I got released at Walsall when I was 18. And I took kind of a gap year out. I signed for a non-league side called Sutton United.
Okay.
And I went on loan and played with a team called Hendon, which was like 2 levels below the conference. And then, little lizard under us, look at that. But then after that, I was at Hendon, and I got maybe 20, 30 games at like an amateur level, or semi-pro level, they call it over there. And honestly, that was probably my best experience at a young age. I was 18, 19, and I was playing against men. So I got that experience of aggressive football, long ball football. Like, I think my neck was hurting the amount of times it was going over my head. But just getting that physical mindset, and seeing like guys who are like 30, like between 25 and 30 years old, just having part-time, full-time jobs away from football, and then coming in and playing part-time and still giving their all and everything, just kind of woke me up to kind of how it is. And yeah, like you said, from there, I kind of got to a point in my career. I was training with Brentford's B team at that time to try and stay full-time, but it was difficult because I wasn't sure about part-time. And honestly, I just had there was one of the days I just had a conversation with my dad, and we sat down and I was like, where's my career going? Sometimes it gets to that point where you don't feel like you're growing anymore, and I was just like, I need a change. Whether it's away from football, whether it's with football, I don't know. So we had a heart-to-heart, and we just said, listen, I want to continue playing football. I've always had football in my life. I don't want to get rid of it. And funny enough, there was a lady at Walsall called Sue Lane who opened a door for me. They get contacted about college scholarships all the time. And she said that Limestone had reached out, and I was like, you know what, why not? So we reached out to the assistant coach there, Tom Morris, who works at our academy now here at Charlotte, funny enough. So went and met him at like a service station in England, and he sold us everything, and I was like, Dad, why not? Like, let's just do it. It's an opportunity for me to go and grow my career again, but also get a degree. And it's still an opportunity to play full-time soccer. So.
Nice. And then I guess talk to me a little bit more when you did come. Like, what was that experience like?
That was a culture shock for sure. Like you said, Gaffney, South Carolina, like back home you always see like the colleges in movies and stuff like that, and you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. And then, Gaffney, South Carolina, I think there was only a local food line down the road that we had and everything. So
that giant peach is over there too.
Yeah,
right?
the giant peach. Drove past that a few times, but that's how you always remember Gaffney now. But it was definitely interesting. But I think I always said the people made it what it was. The amount of friends that I've met from there, or the amount of people with. I always said my team at Limestone in my first year was honestly, half the team was internationals, just in the same position as me, going over and doing the same thing. So learning their backgrounds and getting to know them as people. And
you kind of bond.
Yeah, you
right?
bond, and you build those partnerships, and like you said, you learn so much about yourself. And I said that going away from home, that was difficult. My mom didn't want me to go, of course, but leaving home was obviously it's a big challenge, it's a big change. So. But it was one that I needed, and I think it helped me grow as an individual as well.
Nice. What kind of things do you think you learned maybe in that college game, or just that experience in itself that kind of developed you more?
Just growing up, honestly. That was probably the first thing. Like you said, I've left home and I'm on my own. So I've got to look after myself, I've got to do things for myself more. And that's obviously a big change straight away. And then honestly, it gave me... When I left England, I fell out of love with the game a little bit. That was kind of why I made the decision to leave and go to America. And honestly, playing there and enjoying it so much gave me an opportunity to fall back in love with the game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was really powerful for me to take in again and be like, wow, this is the game that I love. Like, I can't believe I thought about giving it up, but that's how that happens sometimes. So the fact that I had that opportunity. and like
It's like a
I said,
rebirth of the
yeah,
love,
forever
right?
grateful
Yeah.
for the coaches there that gave me the opportunity to come over to America, and they just gave me an opportunity to fall back in love with the game.
Nice. And then you headed over to NC State, correct? After
Yes,
that?
so I
Wolfpack, I went there for a year, so.
Yeah, there you go.
Huge school, man.
Massive. So like you said, the change going from
That was Dean Smith.
always giving me rubbish, man. I love it. But yeah, like I said, I had a great 18 months at Limestone. And then I always said I wanted to play at the top level of college soccer. So obviously the ACC at that point was massive. So NC State came knocking, and I was like, you know what? So I obviously handed in a transfer request, which is weird because they don't normally do that at college level, right? It's a bit weird how it works, but so I handed that in, and then I was put on the transfer portal, was it? Yeah, something like that. So NC State took me. So going from like 1,000 students at Limestone to like 40,000 students at NC State, a much bigger school. It was. I always said I had the best experience of college because I got to see every part of it. I got to see a small D2 school that I really enjoyed, and like you said, met so many great people there. But then I got to experience a big school as well. So yeah, getting both sides of it was amazing. And like you said, the standard of the ACC and playing against some of the top like draft picks in the nation was really good for me as well.
Nice. Did you notice that obviously there was a big jump in level, but was there also like a jump in mentality with the players in that league, or you felt like it was the same?
Yeah, I think so. Like you said, I think there was a lot more Americans in the D1 and like the ACC in general. Like you said, my team at D2 there was a lot of international boys that were coming in and getting those opportunities, and then I just noticed that the game at D1 level was just a lot quicker. It was a lot more physical. I mean, I remember we played Clemson in my first year at NC State, and the team was they had Kamani Smith there. They had Robbie Robinson. Trying to think of a few others as well. Mayaka was there. Okay. Everyone. So they had a good team that year. Grayson Barber as well. So like they had a top team, and like some of them guys got drafted first round and everything, and then played against guys like Daryl DK, who played for Virginia as well. So Joe Bell.
Now,
yeah. So it was to go and play at that level. I needed it because I felt like I needed to move on from Limestone, and if I wanted to eventually try and go pro, I needed to play against the best the country had to offer. So it was definitely a good challenge and one that I enjoyed.
Now, do you think that your experiences at Walsall and kind of heading in, and like you mentioned, like you kind of fell out of love with the game a little bit, but then you kind of brought that love back?
Yeah.
Because when you're in college, right, like it's very easy at the end to say, okay, well, I'm going to go get a job, or, you know, like it's going to be a difficult path. Yeah. Do you think maybe that experience helped you say, you know what, I'm going to continue to push?
Yeah, I think so. Like you said, COVID was a tough time as well, because that was when I was able to do my 5th year at NC State in the end. So that gave me an extra year to go and play in the ACC again before looking for a club. And it was a difficult time because clubs were in and out, whether they were going to sign players, and then being an international spot, it makes it even harder as well. So, but yeah, like you said, I think that when I came over here and it reignited that fire in me, I was like, right, I'm going to go here, go to college, and I want to get a pro contract at the end of it. Like, but even at times then, it was like, oh, is the opportunity going to come up? Like, I didn't know who was interested at the time. Like, college sort of ends, and it's like, oh, what do you do now, right? But I've got a degree in the back of it as well, so there's always that backup as well, which was always good. So, and like I said, I've always had the support of my family, so that's been crucial in it as well.
Love that. Do you think for players, kind of in that kind of environment, does it help that like you kind of have experienced in the past a lot of, I don't want to say like, the best word is adversity, right? To want to continue. Yeah. Do you think that's important?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you said, I think the best thing for me was having that adversity. I think going through that period of where I fell out of love with the game was a wake-up call, and it sort of helped me grow as a player and a person as well, and realise that, you know, not many people get the opportunity to play college at the top level. Yeah. Not many people have the opportunity to, you know, play in an academy in England. Yeah. And I've had all those experiences, and it's helped me grow as a person and a player. And then obviously coming over here now, and I've had the opportunity to play professional as well. So I'm kind of just taking everything as it comes, but making sure that I give 100% in everything I do, because you never know when it's going to be your last game. You don't know when it's going to be your last training session. Like I always say it. So just kind of treating every day as I can. Like I'm getting older now, 27, but just kind of enjoying the game as much as I can and being around it as much as I can is good for me.
Nice. How did the opportunity to play for Asheville come up?
So I was at Limestone at the time, and the coach at the time was Mick Giordano. And he was just looking to recruit some guys for the summer league, and he came and met me and 3 other players from Limestone, and we all said, you know what, because it's different over here with the college season, how like it's so short. So I've always said like it's like 3 or 4 months you play a college season and it's done, and then you got the spring season, which is terrible, terrible. And then I was like, you know, I want to play more football. So if I can go to a summer league team, play those games, and then be ready for the fall and be fit, because I mean, for me, playing games is the best way that I get fit and everything. Like, I just enjoy playing games, enjoy the atmosphere at Asheville. That sold me as well. And being just part of the community in Asheville, it was really cool to be around. You know, they had a really good fan base for USL2 or NPSL, whatever it was at that point, and just really enjoyed every second of it. So yeah, Mick reached out to us, and we were like, you know, why not go there for a year? So I went there for the summer, and you know, 3 or 4 summers later, I ended up having 4 seasons there. Yeah. So really enjoyable experience that was.
You're probably one of the few people that's, I guess, not from the Carolinas that has really experienced the Carolinas.
Yeah.
You know, Gaffney, Raleigh, Asheville.
I know.
You know, Greenville as well.
Yeah,
right?
I've been everywhere at this point and dragged my family everywhere with me as well. So. Can I become a Carolinian yet? Or?
You're certified now.
I have to get a card for that or something. Yeah. But no, I've really enjoyed it. Like South Carolina, like you said, all the Carolinas, like South Carolina, Greenville. I loved my time there. Living there in the city was an amazing city. Charlotte, love this city. It's amazing as well. And Asheville as well. Like everywhere I've been, I honestly can't say a bad word about it. It's always been a good experience for me. I've always enjoyed every second of it. And you know, even now I'm here in Charlotte, everything that I've been already is still not too far away, so I can go back and visit them as well. So that's always amazing to have.
Nice. Talk to me about your time in Triumph as well. How was that?
Yeah, Triumph was good. Like you said, they were the first club that gave me my first professional contract. So again, forever grateful for them for that.
What kind of emotions were you feeling then, right, when you first signed that contract? Because you mean like you've worked hard to get there. Yeah. Right, until ups, downs, college, Asheville, you know, Gaffney, Raleigh, and now like you made it.
Yeah,
you know?
It was honestly the best feeling in the world. I think having to adapt and understand that, you know, because when I was growing up as a kid playing at Walsall, I thought I was going to get a pro contract when I was 18, because that's how it works in England, right? So as soon as I left Walsall and I didn't get that pro contract, I was always trying to fight. I had that as my main goal, still trying to get that pro contract. And obviously it's different when you come to college over here because you have to do the 4 years. So if I'm being honest, I never expected my first pro contract to be signed when I was like 23, but that's just how my career worked out in the end. And all the experiences along the way helped me get there as well. So, but like you said, yeah, the feeling was unbelievable. I went in on trial there just after Christmas in 2022, and had like 3 or 4 weeks there, and they gave me a contract. John Hawkes was the coach at the time, right. So he gave me the contract, and just really enjoyed my time there. Really enjoyed the experiences I had. I had a couple of injuries long term, which also helped me grow as a person. But yeah, can't say a bad word about the club. They looked after me, and you know, they're continuing to grow now, even with Ronaldinho there as well.
I was just about to say that they saw that you were there. Ronaldinho was like, I got to invest in this team.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, definitely not that. But I left. They got rid of me when Ronaldinho came in, so maybe that was it.
Yeah, one celebrity left, so they had to bring another one,
yeah.
Right?
I wasn't doing enough step overs at the back. I think that's what it was. But no.
Nice. Did you always love that center back position? You know, your dad kind of played a similar position. Yeah. Was it that, or what was it for you? Yeah,
I mean, everyone always has the cliche story of saying, oh, I started up front and then got moved backwards. Yeah. But that's literally what happened for me. But no, I played right back a lot as well.
Okay.
Or was it outside back here? That would
Outside,
kill me
yeah.
for saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he said in an interview he doesn't like
No,
that.
no. So, no, I was a right back earlier on in my career at Walsall. I played right back a bit and centre back. They sort of moved me inside when I went to sort of the end of my Walsall tenure, and then I played right back in non-league when I was 19 and stuff. But then as soon as I came to college, they was like, no, we want you as a centre back. So yeah, always been a centre back since there, really.
What do you enjoy about the position? Is there anyone that maybe like you, obviously like your dad played the position, so he could give you a lot of advice, but was there anyone else that maybe you looked up to as a player that you liked their playing style as well?
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, I always loved watching like John Terry. Like he was like such a good defender. I mean, they would say captain, leader, legend.
Yeah.
So, but no, watching him, just the way, not only the way he played, but the way he was able to lead his team and control his team, like that always stood out to me. So, yeah, I just enjoy playing the position. Like, I think these days you're a bit more ball playing at the back, so
Yeah.
I enjoy that piece of it. I feel like my passing range is good for that. So, and you can have a bit more control of the field and what's in front of you, sort of move guys in front of you, make your job easier at the back. So, if they're listening to you, of course, but yeah.
Nice. And then you got a chance to, I guess, interact with John Terry, correct, as well, when he was at Villa.
Yeah, so yeah, he was my dad's assistant at Villa, so that was a really cool period. The conversations that I had with him here and there were like always really good as well. Like honestly, I'd ask him some questions sometimes, just how he did this and that, because I was still a professional learning my trade at that point as well. So he was good to have for a little bit of advice here and there as well.
Nice, I love it. Awesome. Now let's transition over and talk a little bit about signing for Crown Legacy and coming to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Right. How did that come about?
I was obviously I had 3 good years at Greenville, and like you said, it comes to a point where you have to think about other things and your future ahead. I just got engaged to my fiance now, so
Congrats.
Thank you very much. So we're actually getting married this year, so I've had to start make some decisions about my future as well. And you know, like I said to you earlier, like you don't know when it's going to be your last game, when it's your last training session. So I sort of knew myself, and whether it be 2, 3, 4 years, that I'm going to have to start making adjustments to my career. And the opportunity here came up with Crown Legacy. In December, I just completed my C license for coaching. So I'm on that coaching path now. I started the coaching pathway. So building up those badges, and then there was an opportunity. So I spoke with Bobby Belair, and the opportunity came up to come here as a bit more of an experienced player to kind of help and guide some of the younger players here. We have a really good young crop of players that just need a bit of guidance still at the moment. So yeah, as soon as that came up, I was like, you know what, coming to Charlotte, being closer to the family again, but then being able to help those players, but then also those players can help me be a better player and a coach now. So that was sort of the thinking behind it. Like I said, I'm going to continue that pathway of growing the badges and, you know, continue playing and training every day and trying to help these guys improve as well.
Is there a shift in the way you view the game now, too, being a player coach?
Yeah, honestly, I think there is. You know, Gary and Kevin have been really helpful for me since I've been here. Just in terms of the guidance, and they were like, you know, if you ever need, you want to come in on a meeting or you want to listen into how we do things, just to help my experience and grow me, especially on the coaching side, has always been good. But yeah, I think just working with the younger guys and trying to help them in training. I think, you know, even in training sometimes now I look at it from a player's perspective, but then I'm also stepping back and looking at it from a coach's perspective. Right. So something I may have said before as a player, I'm like, maybe he doesn't need to know that. Like, maybe I'll just wait until after the session. Maybe.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, so it's kind of opened my eyes up to a lot of it, and it's exciting at the same time because, you know, I'm kind of seeing both sides of it now, which is sort of portraying a different image for me. So
nice. Now, did Dean mention anything about that to you? Like, obviously, you get to experience like kind of his career as well as a coach, right? Did he play a factor in you kind of deciding you wanted to?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I've always leaned on him for advice, like, and he's done it at the top level. So who better to have as a role model, right? So he's always shown me in the right direction, and we just had a chat about it, and had a chat with my mum and my fiance and stuff, and we were just saying like this might be the best option for me now. Like I said, I'm growing the badges. I can still have the opportunity to play.
Correct.
It might be in a different mode, different mindset now, but I still have that opportunity to come in every day and do what I love.
Yeah. And you're scoring too.
Yeah.
We saw you put it in the back of the net 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Few bodies in the way, but managed to squeeze that one in. So I didn't really know how to celebrate either. But you know, it was nice to help out the team that day. Like you said, it's been a difficult start to the season, but you know, these are young lads that are growing and learning. So it's.
Yeah, like what you mentioned about like the experience as well, because I think of like, I guess like a Wyatt Holt, right, who's young, right, U.S. men's youth national team, kind of plays a similar position to you. Like kind of leaning into somebody with experience is going to be important.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of what I'm here for. Like if they have questions, but it's because sometimes it can be hard for young players to always go to a staff member and like open up and like ask them questions. But if I can be there as like a player to player, and I can still give them advice of my experiences and what I've been through, and the people that I've learned from, and you know, if I can help them with the game in that way, then that's great as well. But yeah, when like I played with Wyatt in Columbus a few weeks back, I still won't say thank you to the commentator for always mentioning my age and his age every time they mention the centre back pairing. But yeah, no, it was good, and like you said, he's helping me as well. Like players like that are helping me because, you know, they might not realise it, but you know, when they're coming to me with questions or when they're telling me stuff, I'm still learning as well.
Yeah.
So whether it be a coach or a player mindset, whatever one I've got on, it's good for me as well.
I love that because I think now that Charlotte's been 4 years into the league now, you know, at the beginning they talked about investing in young players, right? But we're kind of seeing the fruits of it now with, if you just look this past weekend when Charlotte played San Diego, 4 of the college draft picks were on the pitch, right? So, and I mean, Patrick and Nick played at Crown Legacy, right? And so you're kind of in that now where you're kind of seeing the next generation of players that will potentially go into the first team because we've seen that this is something that Charlotte's invested in. So are you seeing a lot of that, like, hey, like from the outside looking in and just everything, Charlotte's putting a good amount of effort into the youth that's going to be the next players for Charlotte FC?
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's always difficult with the college system here. Because, you know, some guys that are 18 will end up like going to college and want to have that experience of college, whereas like we said earlier, in England at 18 you're expecting to get a pro contract, and then by the time you're 21 you've got 150 appearances in like lower league level, whereas over here you're just coming out of college or getting draft picked, you know, that sort of stuff. So yeah, like you said, there's a lot of young guys this year that are coming through that have a lot of potential, which is really good for the club. But we use, you know, Ajimang, Edan even last year was playing for the Crown Legacy. Now he's playing, and obviously Nick and Andrew's obviously playing, and Nick obviously just got his first start. So we're using them as like, what's the word, motivation for the young guys to say, right, that could be you one day as well. So
I love that because you could say it about, okay, well, this guy went to, you know, Montreal or something, but like you got these guys here coming here, and they started kind of where you were
and they were created at our club, right? 100%. So they came through our system, so nobody else is like, obviously wherever they were before have helped them develop as a player, but then once they've came here we've helped them develop, and then they became the players that they are now in the first team, which is obviously the whole goal of the academy. Eventually we want to get as many young guys through the academy as possible playing for the first team.
Nice, I like that. One of the things that Gary mentioned to me when I talked to him was, you know, when he interviewed, him and Dean kind of saw the game in a similar fashion, right? Are you noticing that as well? Like maybe the cohesion between Charlotte FC, Crown Legacy, and the academy?
Yeah, for sure. I think, like you said, Gary's methods, I think, are very good. He's come in and been really good since he's been here. I think he's helping a lot of players develop and wants to help them develop. I think that's the big thing as well. You know, it's not just coming in here. It's like, obviously we want to win. That's obviously everyone's end goal, like in games, but the focus is on development as well. We want to not only help these players be better as on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. So we want to help them grow their whole, you know, professional lifestyle. So yeah, he's been great since he come in. There's obviously a lot of similarities, and I think that helps. Then when you're having guys that step up, they're not just stepping up and being like, oh, it's completely
going on,
different.
yeah.
They're stepping up and they're able to have similarities to what we're doing. So yeah, it's been really good so far.
What would you say is the culture of Crown Legacy in Charlotte in general? You know, because you experienced a little bit this weekend where you see kind of, you know, Dean talked about, you know, how everybody was looking out for Nick Scardina as well because, you know, like he's starting, right? And so, like, I'm like, that shows you that there's a camaraderie within the team.
Yeah.
And that's getting transmitted through the whole organization.
Yeah, I think but honestly, that probably drops down to us as well. Because like you said, we're in here every day. We see the first team players. Everyone's in and around each other in the cafeteria. So I think that's a good piece that maybe some other MLS Next teams don't have as well. Like we have that where they want to keep everyone around it. And like you said, I think that's motivation for some of our guys to be like, right, I want to be in his shoes one day. Like, how can I get there? So and then it allows obviously some guys to go and train with the first team sometimes as well. So yeah, I think that's the motivation in itself. I think the cultures around the whole club like spreads between Legacy and the first team.
Nice. And then what are some things that I guess you try to transmit with your experience, right? Like obviously adversity is one thing that comes to mind, you know, the way you see the game, right? Yep. The experience of like coming from England here. What else do you think you would like to transmit to a lot of these players?
I think it's just been trying to be a leader for them. I think, like you said, it can be difficult sometimes when you're a player and you know your end goal is you want to get that contract with the first team, right? And just trying to be that voice for them sometimes when some of them maybe a little bit, you know, haven't really expressed themselves too much yet because they're still trying to focus on their game and, you know, understand what they're really good at. And yeah, so just trying to be that voice and then, like I said, help players where they need it. If I see someone struggling, I'll go over and help them or discuss things with them. I'm always open. I'll be like, listen, lads, if you ever need a conversation or anything, I'm here. Like, I think just having that background that I've had and obviously having my dad always doing probably similar for me allows me to help these younger guys do that as well. So kind of always there to be an arm to lean on sort of thing. You know, if you need any advice, like I'm here. And like you said earlier, sometimes it's hard to go to the coaches and do that stuff as well. So if I can be there in the locker room every day helping the guys and trying to give advice, then I'll hopefully can help them on their way to getting in the first team one day.
That's awesome. I think that's helping you grow as well, right? Because, you know, there's a difference between just being a player and being a leader.
Yeah.
Because a leader, you're not just looking at yourself, you're looking at the whole.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like I guess there's a certain standard to that, being the oldest guy in that locker room.
Yeah.
So you sort of have to try and lead the way.
Which
sometimes.
I mean, 27 is not old at all.
Yeah, but you know.
But then when you're with a whole bunch of young
I
players,
do take the average age up for sure. So, but no, like I said, it's good for me, and I think we keep saying, or we've kept mentioning it today, but like that coaching side of it as well. Like I think as I'm helping these players try and develop myself where I can, like I might only have like a tiny piece that I've added to their game. But if it's something where I can help them and it helps them become better, then, you know, I'm happy with that. And I'll take no like plaudits for that or anything. That's just part of my day-to-day job and the role that I have. And that's why I wanted to come here. That's why I'll enjoy it. And like I said, that'll only help me on the coaching side of things as well when I eventually have to put that cap on and become a coach.
Love that. We'll end it with a couple of just some fun stuff that I want to know a little bit of, you know.
Okay.
Your family's a big Villa family, right?
Yeah.
I mean, your dad coached, right? Your dad was your grandfather was a steward there.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that love for Aston Villa.
Oh man,
because it's so unique.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've been a Villa fan since I was born. My whole family have always been Villa. So just those early days of growing up and being a Villa fan, and my dad or my uncle taking me down to Villa Park and just going to watch games, and we've been to Wembley a few times as well when I was younger, for like the Carling Cup final when we lost to United and everything. I think that was back in 2010 or something like that. But just having those moments and always being a Villa fan, and then obviously that period of when my dad took over at Villa was just like unbelievable. Like honestly can't even explain how that was, but it was
promoted to the Prem. What was that like?
Yeah, that was insane. Like I said, I think it was a bit difficult for me because I was over here building my own career.
Right.
So I never really got to like feel it immediately. Like obviously when I go home at Christmas time and stuff, like you're being around it and you're like, whoa, this is like crazy, right? So But being away from it and building my own career helped me kind of see it from the outside. So that was kind of like cool in a way. But yeah, when I went home, and I remember going back, I think the first game I watched live was when they beat Birmingham City 4-2 at Villa Park. I flew back during the Thanksgiving week, and they beat them 4-2, and that day was really special, and I was like, whoa, here we go. Like, so then obviously going to Wembley that year as well, and being a part of that promotion, that was just incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a big Liverpool fan, so I don't think I could still forgive Dean for that trashing of I think it was 7-2.
7-2 should have been more as well, right?
Yeah. Well, some of them it was like deflecting and going. Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Excuses.
Nice, awesome. Also, you're a big golf guy, right? So
yeah.
The important question that I want to know is, who's the better golfer, you or Dean?
So yesterday was the first time I beat him.
Okay.
So I will say me for now until the next time we play. But no, he plays a lot more than me, and he's been playing for a lot longer than me. So
he's got the experience.
Yeah, exactly. So he has more time on his hands sometimes to go and swing a golf club. So yeah, definitely him. But after yesterday, I'm definitely getting up there now and trying to build my consistency.
Nice. I love that. I guess we'll end it with one last one. Just your time here at Crown Legacy in Charlotte. What do you want to accomplish while you're here?
Like I said, I think if I can be a small piece of some of these guys having the opportunity to go up at some point, or assisting in any way that I can, whether it be big or little, that's obviously the role that I have to play. So that's what I want to get out of it. Obviously, I want to continue building my badges and eventually become a coach one day. That's a goal of mine. But like you said, for now, I'm being a part of this team. It's just helping guide these younger guys to become better players, but also better people as well, and get good habits off and on the field, and try and help us grow, and hopefully one day we'll see a few more of them out on the first team field.
Nice. Jamie, you're carving your own legacy here.
Yeah. Right? I like that. There we go.
Nice. Awesome.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you.